The New Life Day Center, an organization that aims to help the unhoused population of Lexington, hosted their first ever 5K Sunday afternoon. More than 200 participants ran, jogged, and walked to raise money to support the shelter's mission.
We provide supportive services. We offer coffee, donuts, breakfast, and basically just a daytime shelter so that people can get out of the inclement weather and have a safe space to rest and get connected to a lot of different community services.
But the event also served as a celebration of life for Brandon True, who passed away last year. True devoted much of his time to helping those in need and now has a 5K named after him.
Brandon's definitely here with us today. I know that.
Absolutely.
He is here, and he's smiling down on us.
Brandon's family tells me that he's someone who never met a stranger and that this inaugural 5K represents a large facet of his life, helping others.
He would even leave our family Thanksgiving and Christmas and just stay with us for a little bit to go and feed the homeless and make food and deliver food and spend more time helping others than he did with his family sometimes.
Brandon's family describes him as a hands-on member of the community.
If you were to say, I think you know my nephew, Brandon. Oh yeah, yep. Brandon True.
He always made sure everyone got a little piece of him, spread every kind of love and joy he ever had to everyone.
In Lexington, Jessica Umbro, WKYT.